morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. This is the day 3 of having Virginia Borgata on.
You. Good morning.
Is that Italian?
Yes, it is.
Virginia, we're going through and looking back and thanking everyone. Rick wanted to have a party for our 40th birthday. Saddleback is turning 40 years old. The last Sunday in January was the 40th anniversary of the beginning Bible study. However, Easter of this year will be the 40th birthday of the beginning of the church. And so we're going to let you hear how that happened a little bit later. But Virginia handed me her notes from Sunday, and I noticed, well, first let me give you the verse, which I'm going to get off of this, which was in Matthew 9:29, Jesus says, according to your faith, it will be done to you. And so Jesus has always encouraged us, wants us to live by faith.
Yes.
And sometimes that means stepping out in ways that we don't know how it's going to happen or end. In fact, you wrote down, and this is kind of the theme for today, but Rick said, where God guides, God provides.
Yes, he does.
You were sharing an experience of one of the ministries you're involved with, the love boxes.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, I had said in prayers, Lord, use me. And in time, he came to me in a dream. And he said, Virginia, I want you to go out and touch people in your community that are hurting, that are lonely, that are sad. And that was basically the concept.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I thought, Lord, I don't know how to do this. Where do I begin?
So it was the hurting,
the lonely,
and
the sad. And so
I got to say, there's 2 miracles involved with that in my mind. One, that God gave you that dream, and 2, that he allowed you to remember it. Honestly, I so rarely remember dreams when I wake up.
It was pretty profound dream.
Evidently. So you didn't know. So what happened next?
So I thought, my goodness, I don't know where to go. So I contacted social services in Laguna Woods. That kind of made sense to me.
Yes.
That they might know the lonely, the hurting, and the sad.
Yeah.
And had a conversation with them. And how could I use some of their resources to make this
And what did they say to you?
Well, initially, they were, I'm not sure. We hold that information close. So then I contacted Vicki at church and Jeff. And I said, if I can set up a meeting with social services, can you come?
Yeah.
And we'll tackle those obstacles. And we won't leave until those are resolved.
So the bottom line, skipping ahead, is God provided both a way to get good things to those people through Saddleback Church and our church family, who really adopted your idea. And skipping ahead, how many love boxes did we do this year?
This year, last Thanksgiving, we did 149 boxes filled with lovely items in a box that was distributed through social services and also Meals on Wheels.
And those people, and a good number of them responded back, and I read those responses. It's one. God gave you the vision. You in faith stretched your faith, and God used it. God's people stood with you, and it happened.
Yes.
I love it.
There are obstacles along the way.
Yes.
But you're able, with his guidance, overcome those obstacles.
Well, there were obstacles to starting this church, too.
Yes.
Namely, there were no people. And so I want everyone to see Rick explain how this church had its birth. It birthed on Easter Sunday in 1980. You're going to enjoy this story. See you tomorrow, everyone.
Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have dreams because because it's scary. Well, of course it's scary. That's why it requires faith. Every single decision, major decision I've made in 40 years as pastor of this church, every single one of them scared me to death. Now, a lot of people think, well, I'm not going to go after my dream because I don't have a peace about it. You're not going to have a peace about it until you take the step. God doesn't give you the peace before you take the move. What in the world am I doing here? Of course you got fears, but you make the move and you step into the water and you watch the waves part, and then the peace comes. It was only after I got here and I started seeing miracles in the early months of Saddleback Church. But I had a dream. So we pull off the off-ramp. I find the first real estate office I could find. I walk in, it's late in the day, about 4:30 in the afternoon. Only one realtor in there, Don Dale. I say, hi, Don goes, I'm Don, how can I help you? I said, well, my name's Rick Warren. I'm 25 years old. I'm here to start a church. I have no money, I have no buildings, I have no members, I have no salary, and I need a place to live. And he just laughed. Where God guides, God provides. And he said, well, let's see what we can do. So he looks around, he finds this little condo, and somehow Don gets this guy to give us the first month rent-free, because I had no money, and nothing down. I never heard of such a thing, but Don just goes, I think the guy's legit. I think you can trust this kid. And so we got it, nothing down, and no rent the first month. Didn't have to pay it up front. We were literally going to stay in the truck that night because we didn't even have money for a motel. We were moving on faith, but God had given a dream, and God tests you with a dream. I'll never forget, a couple days later, I get a phone call. We'd been here just a couple days, and I picked the phone and said, hello? I wasn't expecting anybody to call. Nobody knew me. The guy says, is this Rick Warren? Yeah. He said, are you the young guy down in South Orange County starting a church? Yeah. He goes, well, I somehow heard about your name. He said, my name is Bill Grady. I'm an Episcopalian priest up in Fullerton. I said, well, it's nice to meet you, Bill. What can I do? He said, I feel led. God's told me to pay your salary for the first 2 months. Hello? You are my new best friend. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? And God took care of us. Why? Because with a dream. Tom started to read the original dream. That when we started that little Bible study of 7 people, and it grew to about 15 in the first 12 weeks, and I said, we're going to start on Easter Sunday, because if anybody comes, they're going to come on Easter. They may not come back the second week, but I'll at least ask the people to go visit. So I said the week before, we're going to go down to Laguna Hills High School, and we're going to practice, the 15 of us. We're going to pretend like there's a church here, like 60 people or 100 people here. We're just making up a number. And we'll go down, we'll practice, work out all the bugs. So next week on Easter, when people show up, if anybody shows up, it looks like we know what we're doing. Then we hand-addressed, I wrote a letter to the community after we visited homes for 12 weeks. And I hand-addressed and hand-stamped, 15 of us hand-addressed, hand-stamped 15,000 letters. Mailed them out 10 days before Easter, and it said, at last, a new church for those who've given up on traditional churches. I had in that small group of 15 people, most of them were non-believers. I had non-believers helping start this church, which was really cool because then they knew what would attract them. Some people got that letter early, misread it. Came a week early. We had 60 people to trial run service, and 5 gave their lives to Christ. I wanted to get up and say, no, you can't do that this week. You got to wait till Easter next week. We're just practicing this week. But 5 people came to Christ at the dress rehearsal. The next Sunday, I'm standing on the patio of Laguna Hills High School, and I watched 205 strangers that I've never met walk up and come to Saddleback's first service. And I looked at Kay. Kay's got tears in her eyes, and I have tears in my eyes. I go, this is going to work.